What's up, Gamecock Nation? That's right. It's your buddy Rooster back. How's everybody doing today? How is everyone doing? Hopefully, all is well. I had a question the other day pop into my comments. One of my guys, and thank you for subscribing, please. Everyone that subscribed to help the little channel grow, I want to say thank you to all you guys. For subscribing, for spending your time, valuable time that you have, hanging out with the Rooster Man, hitting that like, giving me that thumbs up, sharing the videos, helping the channel grow. I couldn't do it without all you guys out there, all the college football fans, all the South Carolina Gamecock people that come in and support my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you because you could be doing something else other than hanging out with the Rooster Man, but you choose to take your valuable time out of your day to watch the videos and drop some comments and help me out. So when you make comments, I want to do research, and one of them asked me about a 5-star edge rusher that is committed somewhere else, but over the weekend dropped some hints that he's still in conversations with South Carolina. Can Shane Beamer flip this kid? Right now, South Carolina's kind of been, we lost Kamari Blair last week to Tennessee, 4-star offensive lineman. Is that one over with yet? I don't know, because rumor has it, and I think it was J.C. Sherbert that said it, and he's kind of into recruiting. He works for 247. That Mama didn't know about that flip. So we'll see if Mama's got something to say, if that one's over with. That Adidas money kicking for the Vols right now. And I don't know what the hell is going on with the Vols, but they are enamored with South Carolina. I mean, all over X. All they can do is talk about South Carolina. I'm like, dude, y'all playing Syracuse this week. And you're not even playing. South Carolina's not even on your schedule till next year. So we don't even know if they're on our schedule next year. Hell, we might not play them for 2-3 years. Who the hell knows how long? We'll figure that out later down the road when they drop our schedule, right? But I don't know. But I did decide I'm not going to tell you I'm some kind of guru when it comes to recruiting, right? I can go to the same places. I'll deep dive into what's being said on On3, 247, ESPN. Everybody kind of has a different of opinion on a lot of these football players, where they rank, or 4-star, 5-star, where they rank in the nation, whether they're 130, whether they're 80, whether they're 70, whether they're number 3. But the specific question was about Zion Elely from Baltimore, Maryland, who committed back in December to Maryland. Now, it says on his profile he's pretty much a hard commit to Maryland, but he's still having conversations. I think South Carolina's in that mix. He's still having conversations. This is what he told someone from 247. So this ain't my words. Don't blame Rooster if the guy don't flip to South Carolina, but I'm just saying there's a good chance we see how Shane Beamer works with these guys. And also look at South Carolina's roster and all the guys from that DMV area. Dylan Stewart, if he goes out and be a rock star, does this kid look at it and say, hey, I can go there and do the same thing? It's the SEC, it's the Southeastern Conference. South Carolina's playing well. Eyes will be on me, especially playing in that conference. So will he flip to South Carolina? I don't know. Maybe. But he's a 6'2 guy, 185 pound. What I'm talking about, he's 6'6", about 255. I think we have to put a little weight on him. He's got to get up some weight a little bit. 225, I think, is where he's at now. 255, 260 is where he'll need to be. So they'll have to put a little bit of weight on him. But he is the number 3 nationally ranked player, number 1 at edge and no matter where you go, that's kind of where he's at. Can Maryland hold on to him? We saw Loxley out here bitching and complaining about fans not showing up to games, empty stadiums. Their stadium's not that big anyway, and no one's showing up for games. And these kids, especially when you have that type of ranking, and I get it, it's home for him, right? It could be a situation where he's close to home. He wants to play close to home. And when you have that situation, you're probably not going to get a kid to flip. But we'll see if South Carolina keeps working on it. If Shane Beamer can pull that rabbit out of his hat and get this kid to flip to South Carolina, I think he's coming into town. Maybe he'll be in town watching a few games this year, I'm sure, on some visits. A couple of other guys that I've dug into, maybe some flips that some names that's being thrown out there that could flip. One that Steve Wiltfong brought up that he thought, and I don't know about this, I think you pronounce his name Contavian Anderson, 6'2", 185-pound safety, plays for Dorman. He's with Clemson. He's a number 11th player at his position, number 3 player in the state of South Carolina. Dorman guys, it's kind of he might have grew up a Clemson fan. So if he was a Clemson guy, grew up a Clemson fan or whatever, probably going to be very hard to pull him away from Clemson. But hey, we've seen stranger things happen. Tamarian Watkins was a guy out of South Carolina, out of Rock Hill, went out to Texas A&M. I have truly heard that one's not over with. I think there's still a possibility. 6'4", he's 199 pounds. Is a 3-star on 247. But South Carolina has a lot of success with getting these guys out of Rock Hill. I don't think this one's over with yet. I think South Carolina's still on that one. Beamer mentioned in one of his press conferences that he was still having phone calls with players that are committed somewhere else. And it would not surprise me if this Tamarian Watkins kid is not one of those guys. The next guy I think also in there too is the Julian Walker, 6'6", 260-pound edge rusher from Dutch Fork. We all know the story behind him. His father's on the strength staff at South Carolina. He's committed to Michigan. Can South Carolina keep him home? Does he go to Michigan? South Carolina puts the type of product out on the field, and our edges have the success we think they can have this year, especially Dylan Stewart. And who else steps up outside of him at edge? Brian Thomas Jr., Jatice Gear, Desmond Umeazulu, Desu, as we all affectionately call him, may get this guy to come back. Now, he's closer to home. Maybe he's more realistic as an edge rusher to come to South Carolina over Zion Elely. We'll see how this goes. You know, a lot of those kids are your better recruiters. So if you have the Maryland kids, like Dylan Stewart, like Desu, like Big Tree Babalata, if you have these kids helping recruit other kids from that area and tell them how easy it is to transition from that area down to South Carolina, it will help you tremendously. And these kids all are in these chat groups. They all have each other's phone numbers. They're in places that we aren't. They're in places that we or recruiting services can't get to because they're friends and they talk to each other. So, hey, those are your best recruiters, are the kids on your team for sure. Another guy that we'll see, Samari Matthews, 6'1", 190 corner from Cornelius, North Carolina, committed to Texas. He's not a South Carolina kid, trying to flip a North Carolina kid away from Texas back to South Carolina may be a difficult task, but Torian Gray has put cornerbacks in the NFL pretty regular. His defensive backs go to the NFL, so we'll see how that works out in the end. I heard Samorian Wingo was brought up. Steve Wiltfong talked about him, the wide receiver from Florida that committed in Miami. Probably going to be very hard to drag a Florida kid that's committed to Miami up out of Florida to play in South Carolina. But who knows? Between 247, between on 3, between the information you can gather, if I had to say my top guys that I think Beamer's really focused on and flipping, definitely Zion Eley's probably top of that list. I'd say Julian Walker's right at the top of that list. Tamari Watkins probably your guy that's at the top of that list. These are the guys I think are probably more your realistic guys in there. P.J. Dean was another name that was brought up from Clemens, North Carolina, committed to Georgia. It's a little different when you're trying to pull a North Carolina kid to South Carolina, especially when they're committed to a big school like we talked about with Samari Matthews going to Texas. This kid's going to Georgia. But the kids from the state, the in-state kids like Tamarian Watkins, Julian Walker, I think you have a shot at them because you have so many guys from the DMV area. I think you have a legit shot at getting Zion, Elely to come down. And a lot of depend, I think, on the success of South Carolina this year. Some more eyes may open back up with these kids and get back in the mix. The better South Carolina plays this year. You just never know what's going through these kids' minds. But, hey, South Carolina's moved up to 16th. Depends on what service you look at where South Carolina's rankings at. They're somewhere around 16th, 17th, depending on where you're looking in recruiting for next year. Not a big class compared to a lot of classes that are above South Carolina. That's what a lot of people know. Well, we're number 5 in recruiting. Yeah, you got 35 players, bro. You got 35 high school players. South Carolina's not going to get near that number. But some teams have to do that just because of transfer portal. They're probably down a little bit. So they're going to bring a lot of players. And then let's also not forget there's that offer that's not really a real offer. So watch some of that too as these rosters start filling up and maybe some of these teams flip their number 1 guy and you were their number 2. That some of these aren't real committable offers. Some of these offers with NIL is not going to be what you think it is. But we'll see. We'll see. There's all kind of rumors out there about all kinds of things. But, hey, we got football coming this upcoming Sunday. Sunday. South Carolina, Virginia Tech. We're also going to talk about the rest of the SEC teams. I'm probably put a video out and look across week 1 and see impact games when it comes to our Gamecocks. You know, Clemson, LSU, as a Gamecock fan, is very interesting. We want to see what both these teams look like. Now, we got to take it with a grain of salt because it is week 1, but it will give us our first look at those two teams that are on our schedule in 2025. Interested in seeing Alabama, how they play against Florida State. So it'll be interesting to kind of see the teams that are playing some of the smaller teams. You're not going to get a good read on what they're going to do because they're going to beat up on the smaller teams. And then, I think we'll get a better judge on Missouri when they play Kansas. You can't really hide anything. You can't hold anything away from your playbook. But teams will also get an eye on South Carolina against Virginia Tech. We're going to talk more about that too. What will South Carolina's offense look back? What is the game plan that Mike Shula will put forth? What is the defensive game plan that we think Clayton White will use to try to contain drones? But we'll talk about those in more videos through the week. You guys please like, subscribe, share out the channel. Hey, don't forget to drop comments. If you want me to go do some research, if you want my opinion on something where I have to go research it, kind of look through things and give you my honest opinion on it. If it's something I haven't looked at before, I do not mind doing it. You guys just drop a comment and let me know what you would like me to do a video on, and we'll do it. But until then, y'all have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your night. Peace.